Hi, I'm Patty Simpson, and I am the founder and CEO of D.W. Simpson Global Actuarial and Analytics Recruitment. This video is going to be about how to become an actuary and the different governing bodies and the exam process, as well as what dictates what particular society that you will become a member of. So the bodies that govern the actuarial exam process is the Society of Actuaries and the Casualty Actuarial Society. And the difference of where you take those exams is dependent upon which line of business that you're working on. So if you are working in life insurance, health insurance, or pension, also referred to as retirement, you will take exams that are administered by the Society of Actuaries. If you are working in the property and casualty industry, then you will take exams given by the Casualty Actuarial Society. So you want to be an actuary, and what's involved? First of all, there are two major designations. On the Society of Actuaries side, which again, the lines of business are life, health, and pension/retirement. And on the CAS side, it's property and casualty. On the Society of Actuaries side, it takes roughly 10 exams to become an associate of a Society of Actuaries, referred to as an ASA. And those 10 exams really consist of particular exams and also modules. And then to become a fellow in the Society of Actuaries, you will pick your track of expertise, complete that track, as well as your professionalism course, and then you will become a fellow in the Society of Actuaries. On the exams that are administered by the Casualty Actuarial Society, the first designation is becoming an associate in the Casualty Actuarial Society, known as an ACAS or an ACAS. It takes 7 exams to become an associate of the Casualty Actuarial Society. The final designation is a fellow of the Casualty Actuarial Society, also known as an FCAS or an FCAS. And that is the exam process. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about those lines of business. So again, as I talked about earlier, if you work in the life insurance industry, you will work on insurance products that consist of traditional insurance products as well as non-traditional insurance products, annuities, and then there's all sorts of now new non-traditional types of products that you'll work with as well. And some of them have investment pieces to that particular type of life insurance. And then there's the health insurance industry. We're all familiar with major medical and prescription and vision and dental. And then there's some specialty lines as in nursing and skilled care and long-term care. So again, those are the types of lines of business that you'd be working with. A pension actuary, by and large, you will be working on defined benefit plans. They're complex, very large plans that take a lot of mathematical work. If you are a property and casualty actuary, if you think about property, things that you own, either things that you own personally or things that are owned commercially. So things that we own personally are things like our home, and there's renter's insurance, and our cars, and maybe you have a boat or a snowmobile, lines of business like that. And if it's the commercial property side, it would be things like hotels and marine. So things that are used commercially or by the public. Then on the casualty side, what I like to say is bad things that can happen to you professionally. So some of the commercial casualty lines that you'd be working on is like medical malpractice and workers' compensation and general liability and products liability. So what we always talk about internally is there's really three parts to what will lead to when I talk about your resume preparation later. There's the exam process, the governing body that administers that exam process. Then it's the line of business that you'd be working on. And then the third part is, what is it that you do with those lines of business? Meaning, what is your responsibilities? And it really, on a very, very basic level, it breaks down to two different sides. And that is, you're either on the product side or you're on the financial side. The product side, if you think about product development, you probably all had some of that in college, or if you're entering the actuarial profession as a second career, you've probably had exposure to it. But essentially, the product development process is to design, price, and implement. And actuaries specifically really get involved in the pricing, and that is, what are you going to price that product? Because what you're doing is managing future liabilities. You're managing contingent risk. And that's what an actuary does. On the financial side, we break it down into two other areas. If we're talking life and health, we're really talking about financial reporting in terms of statutory and GAAP and everything else within that realm of the financial side of it. Traditionally, actuaries deal with the liability side of the balance sheet. Now, actuaries have moved into the asset side, but by and large, it's the liability side. So if you're working in life and health, we're either talking about, are you going to be a product actuary or a financial actuary? Then if we're talking about pension, so retirement, what you're doing is valuations. And again, I'm speaking kind of on a real basic level. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces to all of this. On the valuation side, you're valuing that pension plan. You're figuring out what that plan is going to have to pay out in the future and making sure that it's solvent. On the property and casualty side, your lines of business we talked about, you're either going to work in property in terms of your lines of business or your casualty lines of business. And it's broken down into two separate areas. Rate making, which is also pricing. So on a broader sense, we say that that's the product side. And then if you're on the financial side, it's loss reserving. So again, just to kind of give it a bigger umbrella of things, it's loss reserving. And that, again, breaks down to all sorts of other things. It's very difficult. There's a lot of business judgment and assumption setting, but those are the umbrellas of everything. So again, you have which society you're going to take exams by, and that will determine which line of business, and then you have your responsibilities. What is it that you're doing to that line of business? Thank you for taking the time today to watch this video. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to any one of my recruiting teams. We have the most tenured recruiters in the industry with 14 plus years of industry actuarial recruiting experience. And we've been in business for 33 years. So we look forward to hearing from you. It's www.dwsimpson.com. If you're interested in looking at the societies, it's soa.org or cas.org. And again, we hope to hear from you. Good luck in becoming an actuary. It's an amazing profession. And best of luck to you. Bye. Have a great day.